Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is Christian Coleman, and here is his 9.76 that he ran at the World Championship Final in 2019. And in second place, age 37, is Justin Gatlin, running 9.89. So you can see he's got great turnover there, 46.9 steps. But now what we're going to do is a genetic experiment where we mix the DNA of Coleman's cadence with Bolt's step counts. So we have here our athlete's lab. This is where we are going to create the perfect sprinter using a dose of lightning bolt and splicing his magical 41 step count, which stands miles apart from anyone else's step count. Just to look at that very briefly, 41 steps. The closest that we get is actually all the way down here with Gout, 43.2 steps. Also, how could I forget him? Fred Curley with his 9.76, 43.2. Curley being 6'3", Bolt being 6'5". But for today's experiment, we are going to create this new sprinter called Christian Boltman, or Usain Coleman, or perhaps we could have Christian Bolt. Who knows what it's going to be? It's going to be some Frankenstein monster. We're going to take the step count, the magical 41 step count, but we're going to get Coleman's step cadence. So Coleman took 46.9 steps when he ran 9.76. That leads into a steps per second of 4.8 steps per second. And so now if we take that 4.8, 41 steps, so we're going to do 41 steps, but 41 over 4.8, we're going to go and see what we get. So as with all good evil genetic experiments, we're going to start with our ingredients here, and these are the two races that we're going to consider, the 958 and the 9.76. And we've got the step counts for each. And at the next stage of our evil plan to splice these two athletes together, we are going to do the DNA splicing. So here we have it. We had to run this in the rain. We had to run it several times. There were occasional, of course, genetic mutants that cropped up. But you can follow now in the bubbles the step count as they start to separate and as we start to bring this monstrous athlete together. Here we go. You can see, there's one of the genetic experiments that went wrong, but that happens sometimes. 34, 35, 40, 41, 37, 38, 43, 44... and at the line, 41, and just moments after, 46.9. So that brings us to the final result, and that is going to give us Usain Boltman, fastest man ever to have his genetics spliced. So on the left, we've got the 958. The top left, we've got the step count, the injection of Coleman's extra fast genetics. And on the right, we're matching up the step count. And
That's von Drei. He lives. It's worked. And
it's just been added up to 8.54 seconds.
I'm truly an evil genius. I've done it.
And now, back to the lab to see exactly what we did. And so here we are, back at the lab, and we get Act von 3, or probably Act von 4, which is 8.54 rounded up. So there you go, genetic experiment creating this entity here went pretty well. So we managed to get down to 8.5 seconds. If only Bolt could move his legs as quickly as Coleman, we get 8.53 seconds. Now, the astute of you will have noticed that actually we could have done a little bit better. Because Su Bing actually has a higher step rate, slightly higher than Coleman. However, bad news, I couldn't get hold of a genetic sample of Su Bing for the purposes of this video, and so that experiment remains to be done. We also had some other experiments. For example, imagine Su Bing took a scaled up step, and imagine therefore that Su Bing was actually 1.95 meters tall, and then we scale up his steps depending on his step to height length rate, his step to height ratio here. So based on that ratio there, we scale him up, we reduce his steps, so we're going to get a gigantic Su Bing. Anyway, I think you get the point. I hope you enjoyed this. Good bit of fun. We also did Coleman stretch to bolt size as well, where he gets an 8 point. It just gets under 10 seconds. All of this to be confirmed in new experiments. Thanks very much. Please like and subscribe. And for the nutters, slow motion. Set to music.